What's good, guys? So it's that time again. We have another Galactic Legend and we have another 10 characters to predict. We got the original 5 and yeah, now people have been asking me what I think is actually going to be coming next, and I've been getting ribbed an awful lot by my viewers and my guildmates, because on the previous one I was last out of all the creators in my prediction average, and I need to do better this time. To be fair, I only predicted the last 5. I missed out on all the easy ones, but you know, I've got to do better. So I've knocked a list together for this Jedi Master Kenobi, GLObi, whatever you want to call him, and obviously the confirmed ones. We'll quickly discuss those. We have Bo-Katan. We have Relic 8 General Kenobi, I believe it's going to be, and then we've got Mace Windu and Ayla Secura. Characters I'm not too bothered about having to relic those. Mace probably more than the other 3, but and then obviously the 6-star negotiator is in that mix. But now it comes down to the next 10, and there's an awful lot of debate going on between a lot of the content creators about a certain inclusion. However, I think there are like 5 that are pretty much dead certs, so we'll begin with those, the ones I think are absolutely most likely to be happening, and I will stick 100% that these 5 will be in there. So there'll be 5 of my confirmed 10. We're going to be going with Cody, because obviously Cody is you know, the main clone under General Kenobi in the first place, so I really think that he will be added. He's also got a part in episode 3, which is the whole section that they're focusing on with the Clone Wars right now, so that stands to reason that Cody will be included. I don't see Bad Batch being involved. That would be pretty painful if they were, whereas, you know, Cody is a natural fit for this. Next up, General Grievous, and obviously we had Wampa involved in Luke, and we also had, what was it, Han was involved in Kylo's one, so it doesn't have to all be light side or all dark side for specific characters. I see Grievous being there because, again, a huge part of episode 3 and a big part of the 4. You know, Obi wasn't around for Anakin at that time because he was left dealing with Grievous, so I can fully see one of the stages us battling General Grievous, possibly teaming up with Cody against other droids or something along those lines. Next up, Grandmaster Yoda. That one stands to reason. There's a good relationship between Yoda and Obi, usually reflecting on their concerns for Anakin and such. So I definitely see Yoda being involved, considering he's not been involved in other ones previously. I definitely see that one happening. And then obviously we have Qui-Gon Jinn. We have the master of Obi-Wan. I don't really think we'll actually even really use him in a battle. I know some people out there speculating that the tier 1 will be essentially episode 1, where we'll fight Maul with you know, with Qui-Gon and stuff. I don't think that'll be the case, actually. I think they will focus primarily on episode 3. There's an awful lot of stuff that goes on in there, especially when you factor in the likes of the Clone Wars cartoon as well as the movie. So I think we'll primarily be focusing on episode 3 fights. But I still think that Qui-Gon will be a requirement. He's a very natural fit, rather than, like, you know, random Jedi Masters and such. And then Shakti I've gone for. The reason I've gone for Shakti is, although Kenobi has had, you know, plenty of interactions with Shaq, I think it's kind of an indicator on one of the other characters that we're going to be required to have. And obviously, if you don't have a built up already, you're going to be in a very, very bad spot, because when we move over to the possibles, Cam is there. For me, I have a gut feeling he will be involved. The 5 that I'm going to go for out of the, you know, for the final 5 are actually this top section here. These ones possible, but I personally think it'll be this 5 they will opt for. And Cam, he's the controversy here, isn't he? I mean, a lot of people that you're on a fence. A lot of people are on this side of it where they're absolutely adamant that Ki-Adi-Mundi will be required, and then you have the other side that are absolutely adamant that he will not be. And the general argument is that you can't whale him, so there's no incentive for CG to put him in there. But quite frankly, you know, he's been around for what, over a year or something now, so the money will come from people that have been really lazy with it and are taking their time with it, or very casual with it, any or all of the above, who will now have to wail on the 501st and Shakti in order to get him in order to go for Kenobi. I just have a gut feeling he's going to be there, man. As you can see, mine's only 5-star, so it's not like I'm ready for this. My guild was really slow at getting ready for Caddy as well. So, but it has been around for a very long time. It's not like my guild weren't capable of getting him done sooner. It was just everyone kind of went at it really slowly for whatever reason, and now we're way behind. So I can definitely see him being involved. And I'm going to be on the side of Team Cam being included in this. Am I happy with it? Not really, but I just think I think in CG's mind they've given us enough time to get our act together and get him 7-starred by now. So I really think that will be the case, and it's quite a painful one as well, because it'll push my fan back, and it's the reason I haven't gone all in on the confirmed characters just yet, because I get the feeling Cam's going to be there and I'm not going to be able to get him yet anyway. So I'm taking my time with it. I'm focusing on Rey, who I've nearly got. And then I likely go Palp unless Cam doesn't appear. But I really do think he will. Next up, Clone Sergeant. I really think he's going to be there. He's already involved with General Kenobi and Cody in one of the light side territory battle missions. So he's got sort of an in-game connection to Kenobi already. He's a great clone, he's a great character, but a lot of people have overlooked him, in spite of the fact that he's probably the best ship to include in the light side territory battle fleet missions. A lot of people still overlook him. Mine's still gear 10 because I don't need him any higher than that to beat those missions, but I would welcome a reason to put him to the front of the queue and actually get him developed. So I'm sort of hoping that Sarge is involved. Luminara. No particular reason other than the fact that she's a former character that used to be quite useful in the days of the Dodge meta. The Luminara leads were quite fun. They were a fantastic squad that you could use in building up those early wins in Galactic War and stuff as well. So, and yeah, she has some mild interactions with Kenobi throughout the Clone Wars series. I can see her being included. Plo Koon, he's probably one of the more focused Jedi in the Clone Wars TV series. Plo Koon's around a lot of interactions with likes of Ahsoka, and as a result of those interactions with Ahsoka, Kenobi's usually present. So he's also a good character, and I don't think they're going to give us too many of the awful ones to develop. I don't see Cut being involved in stuff, or Eth Koff, but Plo, I think will be a gimme. He's a great character, well worth gearing up anyway, and another one that I would welcome having to make a priority and get geared. So, lastly, I'm a die. I don't really know why I've gone for him. Just a gut feeling, really. Just a gut feeling. I actually used to like running him. He's a useful character. I was focusing on a team for him before. I put posts up on Discord server that you can find from like well over a year ago, where I was like, I think he's actually going to do some real work with Caddy Monday in TB. I was unable to test it because obviously we were so slow getting to Caddy that I paused my gear. But it turned out to be true. I believe Arnold showcased it, and it actually does work. He's a decent character in TB and can get some real waves done. So again, I think he'll be the one they go for because he's actually somewhat useful. Far from fantastic, but you can get some use out of him if you've already got Caddy. So when it comes to the other possibilities, I could see Kit Fisto being included, but personally, I think he will be held for a later date for a future Mustafar Darth Vader. I hate the term Fallen Anakin. He wasn't Anakin at this stage. He was Darth Vader. He was Fallen Anakin for about 30 seconds. He was Mustafar Darth Vader at his absolute strongest before becoming Crispy Vader. I think Kit will be involved in that with a Sazy Tin and who was the other one? Aiden Kolar or whatever his name was. I think those will come as marquees and will be involved in Anakin's one with the old office attack on Palpatine. So, and Eth Koff, maybe they want to be cruel and put him in there. I think he's hot trash, and I don't think they'll include him personally. Has anyone ever found anything for him? I never did in all my test account testing anyway. Lastly, the unlikely ones that I see some people throwing around and I just don't think will be included, so I figured I'd cover them and say why anyway. Darth Maul. I don't think it'd be included. A lot of people stem back to the rivalry between Maul and Kenobi, but this is really an episode 1 Maul. He's already been used in the Palpatine one, so a lot of people have him built up anyway. And I don't think they will do that Qui-Gon Obi versus Maul battle as tier 1. I really think it'll focus primarily on episode 3. It'll probably open with heck, I don't even really know what it'll open with, but maybe the Grievous fight or something. I don't know, but I just don't see it being Maul. If we had Clone Wars Maul in the game, who I do think will arrive after Commander Tano in Conquest, then I would have put him in there, but I just don't see the early Maul being involved. And then Gas, I don't think he'll be involved. I think both Gas and Jedi Knight Anakin are kind of bait. Most people have them massively geared up. There's no real panic farm on them to include in it, and I also think they'll be involved with a future Mustafar Vader as well. Same with Padme. I flip-flop because, I mean, if they for whatever reason don't go for a pre-crispy Vader, then I mean, some of these definitely would have been involved, but I really think he will arrive. He's too much in demand, and he's the strongest variation of Vader because he's unrestricted. He's the version that Palpatine feared, if you've ever read all the books and such. So I really think he will arrive, and this block will be involved in him. So in fact, Ahsoka Tano might not. They might go for Commander Tano on that, but you know, that's another discussion and another video. I just don't think this lot will be involved. Some people like maybe we'll need Fanboy Luke and old Ben for like an end thing as we lead into episode 4 and such. I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a cut scene so they can show off the new artwork, but you know, the new artwork and the new portraits are really linked to the new early game experience, more so than I think this. So I don't see them being required. And once again, everyone's got old Ben built up by now. He's a great tank, excellent rebel, excellent Jedi, and obviously you would have needed him for some of the previous characters. I just don't see those being involved personally. I can see them all tied up in other things. So my final 10, these 5 here: Cody, Grievous, Yoda, Qui-Gon, Shakti, and the following 5: Clone Sergeant, Luminara, Ki-Adi-Mundi, I know, it would suck, Plo Koon, and I'm a Gun Die. I would have gone Duchess Satine, but I think I've given it enough time. I've left it quite late to do my prediction video. We haven't had a marquee announced for her or anything, so they're obviously going to use Bo-Katan as a slot in for that. And yeah, if Duchess Satine had been there, she'd have probably replaced I'm a Gun Die for me. But yeah, that's my 10. Fingers crossed I do better than I did last time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to share the video with your guilds, your buddies and stuff. Give it the old thumbs up if you can. And I would love to hear what you think. I know Ki-Adi splits the community on this. I really do think he'll be involved though. It looks like Relicate's involved. That's a big gate. So, I mean, that's probably a bigger gate than Ki-Adi-Mundi if you were in a high-end guild and very active for this. There are smaller guilds than mine that have made more progress in Ki-Adi than we have. So it's doable. You just needed to be focused on it, and my guys weren't. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next video. Let's hope that I'm a little bit more accurate this time. Catch you next time. We out of here.